Welcome to September's edition of the Cando Youth Connect. My name is Nathan Crow, and I'm the current National Student Director with Cando. I'm also a fourth-year student at the University of Lethbridge in the Bachelor of Management program, majoring in Indigenous governance and business management. I'm a proud Blackfoot member of the Kainai First Nation, which is also known as the Blood Tribe. And I'm speaking to you today from Lethbridge, Alberta, which is located in Treaty 7 territory on the traditional lands of the Siksikaitsitabi, which is also known as the Blackfoot Confederacy. And I hope everyone here today is as excited about today's session as I am. I'm really looking forward to hearing from our special guest today, Loa Fridfinnson. Loa has 20 plus years of entrepreneurial, marketing, technology, and sales expertise through her marketing agency Activate, consulting for emerging private and public companies, both Indigenous and non-Indigenous, as well as for non-for-profit organizations in Canada. She also works with progressive Indigenous communities in BC, passing along marketing, digital media, and sales knowledge to Indigenous entrepreneurs who want to start and grow companies that they are passionate about. Loa created a 15-course business training program that gives Indigenous adults and youth the professional and personal development tools and skills needed to succeed in today's digital economy. Many of her participants are operating thriving businesses who have been recognized for their achievements in BC's Indigenous Business Awards in Vancouver. But before I turn it over to Loa, I just want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors, CIBC, Farm Credit Canada, Kiera Resources, and Cooperatives First, as the Cando Youth Connect is made possible through their generous support. And I also just want to mention that there will be an evaluation sent out to all of those in attendance. And those who complete the evaluation will have their names entered into a draw for a $100 The Res Life gift card. But with that, I'll now turn it over to our guest, Loa.
Thank you so much, Nathan. Hi, everybody. It's really nice to be here with you today. Lyle, Kathleen, hello, and Cando, everybody who's in the room. Thanks so much for having me. I am so excited to address this topic today because as Nathan and I had mentioned earlier, this is something I think we all come into life, as a fresh little baby, and we grow and we learn about the world around us, and then we get to be young adults and we wonder, what the heck are we going to do with our lives? I think that this is something, and even as we get older and we mature, if we haven't really explored who we are, we still have that same question. What is my purpose? What am I meant to do? Why was I dropped on this planet? Like, what's it all about? And so today I'm really excited to be able to explore some topics with you that will hopefully help you to guide and direct your life into an area that you can be passionate about and where you can explore your natural gifts and just really have a better understanding of who you are and how you want to design your life. Because at the end of the day, that we are all the artists of our lives, right? Do you guys agree? Instead of letting life kind of take us and lead us around, we need to be able to grab life by the kahunas and say, this is what I want. This is how I want my life to look. And I'm going to design the plan of action to get there based on who I am, my unique gifts, my unique skill set, and what makes me happy. So we spend on average about 1/3 of our life at work. I think that's approximately 90,000 hours over the course of our lifetime. That's a pretty significant time to be spending in a job. So we really need to figure out, and preferably at a young age, what our natural gifts are and what makes us the most happy, so that we can look at a career choice that is going to be fulfilling, where we're also going to be able to give back. Because at the end of the day, as human beings, part of this human family, acts of service and being able to contribute is what brings us the most joy. And if we can do that while also getting in our flow of doing activities that we're passionate about, then that is just, helps to optimize our lives that much more. So today, in our time together, I would like this to be more of a conversation. I would like us to be able to explore some of the questions that I'm going to be asking you today, because that is what's going to help you to create a roadmap for your career and for your life that is going to hopefully give you some tips and tricks to walk away with today, some things to think about, and to consider. Either maybe you are already in a career, pursuing a career that you really enjoy, but maybe there's a few avenues that you can explore further to really really figure out who you are and what will make you the most happy. Or perhaps you're still in that phase where you're like, who am I, and why am I here? So that's my goal today, is to help to be your guide. And I want to hear from you guys too, because that is how we all come with knowledge and experience, our own knowledge and experiences. And the more we can share with each other and learn from each other, the more that we're going to optimize this experience today. And you're going to walk away with a whole lot more. Okay, and nobody can tell you your purpose. You need to discover it yourself. You need to do the deep soul digging and explore your curiosity and the things that make you happy, so that you can point it in the direction of a career choice and designing a life that you'll love. All right, so without further ado, let's go into the agenda. So we are going to, I hope everybody can see these slides. Thumbs up? Yeah? Okay, beautiful. All right, so we're going, these are the topics that we're going to discuss today. We're going to do a little self-exploration. And what is it that, who is it that you are as a human being? And where do you come from? And how do you identify yourself? And what are your natural gifts and talents? What are your experiences? We're also going to look at what is flow state. What does it mean to be in the flow? I think we've all experienced that at some point in our lives. But what exactly is flow? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're also going to look at passion. We've heard that word tossed around a lot, I'm sure, in our lives. And what does it actually mean? I mean, we know passion in terms of when you're crushing on someone, but what does passion mean when you're in a career? Like, how can you find your passion, and how can you explore that? And then we'll also look at purpose. So without purpose in our lives, we are kind of like a ship without a sail. We're sort of just going with wherever the tide happens to take us. So we need to figure out what our purpose is, because that is really the directive for our lives and helps us to feel fulfilled. We'll also look at mission. So I'm curious to see if any of you have ever done a mission statement. Has anybody done a mission statement before? Brianna, excellent. And have you revised it, or has it stayed the same since you've done it?
It stayed the same since I've done it.
Yeah, well, how long ago was it?
It was maybe a year ago.
Yeah, oh, okay, so fairly recent. Excellent. Yeah. So probably not a lot has changed since then. But let's see if we can add to it. Excellent. Okay, so we are going to first do our first poll. Elsie, if you wouldn't mind. I like to keep you guys guessing, so I'm going to throw some different activities at you. All right, so this is a poll on self-exploration. Have you done any guided exploration of your natural gifts before? Are you working in a job right now that you really like and you enjoy? Are you in school for your chosen career? I'll just let everybody put in their answers, and then Elsie will share it. There it is. Okay. Have you done any guided exploration of your natural gifts? We've got 50-50, yes and no. Okay, good. And then are you working in a job that you like now? Ooh, 100% say yes. All right. That's great to hear, everybody. And are you in school for your chosen career? We have 25% yes and 75% no. Okay, that's okay. You guys are still young. You got lots of time. Lots of time. Okay. Thank you for participating in that. Excellent. All right. So when we're doing a little self-exploration, in order to know where you're going and to set up your plan of action on how you're going to get there, you need to have a vision for your life. And in order to have a vision and an end goal, you have to really understand yourself. Do you all agree? Yeah? So, because I don't know if I wish I had known this at your age, because I was a little rudderless when I was younger. I didn't figure out really what my natural gifts were and what I wanted to do until I was in my late 20s. So you guys are way ahead of the game. I also came from a rather crazy kind of traumatic background. So I was on my own at 16 years old, and I just was, kind of flittering from one job to the next and working in nightclubs and restaurants, and I just didn't really have a path until I decided that I didn't want life to just kind of throw me in all these different directions. So in my late 20s, I thought, that's it. I need to really figure out who I am and what's important to me and what kind of career will help me to feel fulfilled. So I was inspired, and some of you may relate to this. I was inspired by some movies, and now I'm dating myself, but these are movies from the 80s. So like Wall Street and Working Girl, and it was all about the finance industry. And so I thought, well, that looks kind of cool. That looks exciting. And I was really curious about it. And I didn't come from a business background. My parents were not entrepreneurs. They were kind of worker bees. So I didn't really have any prior knowledge of business or even what kind of career that I should explore that I would enjoy. And so I went into, after seeing these movies that were all about the stock market, I thought, okay, I want to explore finance. So you have to crawl before you walk, right? So I went and figured out what I needed to learn to be able to get into business in some way. So I started off as a secretary, and then I got a job as working for a stockbroker, and that's where I had the most incredible life experience and learning experience that was probably fast-tracked my university degree more than anything I could have done in my life. And that was because I made a conscious decision on what interested me and where I wanted to go with it. So in gaining 5 years of experience working in the financial markets and working with US fund managers and Swiss bank managers, it really gave me a lot of understanding of not only how the world works from an economic perspective, but also people in business and how people were successful starting businesses, because a lot of what I did was to help fund young businesses. So in getting that experience, it also made me realize, okay, I do need to direct my life. And although this is great and I love this industry, it still wasn't filling my purpose and my soul. And so I figured that I wasn't doing it what I needed to do, where I'm a really creative person. And so I started to point my career in the direction of a more creative pursuit and got into marketing. And then marketing led me into trading. And now I'm doing what I'm doing. And I have both a marketing agency as well as a training company where I teach Indigenous people how to access their strengths and also start and run businesses that they love and look at careers that they're passionate about. And that fulfills me. That makes me see other people succeed and do what they love. It gives me so much joy. And that is my flow state. Like, I can do this work right now that we're being here with you. And I just feel like it energizes me. It makes me feel so good. And I feel connected to what it is I think I'm supposed to be doing. So that's, so where do you begin with that? As I mentioned, I sort of tried this and that when I was younger, but it's important to really explore who you are. So I would like you all to write these questions down, and you don't have to come up with all of the answers right now, but if you could just start to think about them and start to explore, who are you? Who are you as a person? Where are you at now? So you're male, you're female, you're a certain age, you have some ideas about what life is meant to be. You come from a certain background, a certain family, you come from a certain culture. You also live in a specific region, which influences you. So who are you as an individual? Where are you at today in your life? Where do you want to be? What is the vision that you have? What is the picture you want to paint for your life? Where do you see yourself in 5, 10 years from now? What do you value? In order to know what your purpose is, you need to know your values. Your values are going to be so crucial to figuring out your purpose. So for example, my values are integrity, compassion, empathy, empowerment, empowering others, also creativity, innovation. These are connection, community. These are the things that I really value and that I bring to what I do every day. That's what helps to fulfill my purpose. So what do you value? It's and try and if you can get it down to at least 5 core values, that's going to be really helpful in helping you to discover your purpose. And so if you have a vision and a plan for how you'd like your life to look, what is the roadmap? What is the plan that you have to get there? What excites you? This is something you really need to pay attention to as well. What gets you fired up? And that can be both the positive and the negative. Now, the other thing to remember is we learn the most in our life when we go through painful experiences. Also, your purpose can also come from when you see injustices being done, something that makes you crazy that you want to change, right? Or a pain that you've had to overcome and you want to help, your compassionate self wants to help other people so that they don't have to go through the same kind of pain. Maybe homelessness makes you crazy. Maybe that's something that where you can direct your career. Or maybe you love music and you want to bring joy to people through your artistic abilities in music. Or maybe you're amazing at making bannock and making Indigenous cuisine. And so maybe you want to bring pleasure and happiness to people's lives and introduce your culture that way. So whatever it is that excites you, write it down. Whatever it is that is something you see that's a problem you want to solve in the world, write that down. Because these are going to point you in the direction of your natural gifts and the area that you can explore as a career that will make you feel happy and fulfilled. And how can you serve? So this goes back to the purpose piece, whereas we are the most fulfilled and feel the most purposeful when we're helping others. So think about that. How can you serve and how can you use your natural gifts to be able to bring happiness to others or ease the pain that others may be feeling? Okay, let's do the second poll on flow. Elsie, if you would. I think she's probably, there it is. Okay. So is there an activity that you love to do where you can easily lose track of time? And then the second question is, do you often push yourself outside your comfort zone? And these are really important to help you figure out what it is that you're meant to be doing as well in life. Because if we always stay in our comfort zone, it's pretty tough to explore other areas of life where we may be able to find something that is exactly right for us. Okay, so is there an activity that you love to do and you can easily lose track? Oh, great, 100% said yes, excellent. Do you often push yourself? Okay, good. We have risk takers here. I like it. Okay, can somebody please let me know what a flow activity is, or share with everybody that you love to do, something that When you're doing it, you're in a state of pure concentration and everything else falls away. Who wants to share? Brianna, how about you?
Pardon me?
Brianna, do you have something that you do, an activity that when you're doing it, you lose complete track of time and you're just so in the moment?
Yeah, that'd probably be hiking.
Hiking. Oh, being in nature. Excellent. Are
I
you?
love hiking.
Yes, hiking's amazing. I agree. And are you a big outdoorsy person?
Yeah, I would say so. I normally do my hiking in the spring, summer, fall, and in this winter I like to snowshoe.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so it sounds like the great outdoors are definitely something that you have a natural inclination
Mhm.
for.
Yeah.
Oh, right on. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. Lyle, how about you?
Mine's like going, I guess going out on the land, like going to go like I just started recently picking medicine, so that I guess that takes up a lot of time and I get caught up in it. So that's really awesome.
Oh, that is excellent, Lyle. Love it. Well, maybe medicine, natural medicine, holistic medicine is maybe that's something that you could look at pursuing if you're not already. And Kathleen, how about you? Kathleen, are you there?
I think Kathleen put in the chat that hers was beading and sewing.
Oh, excellent. Okay, nice. So Kathleen, it sounds like you've got some artistic ability there. Fantastic. And Angelina, how about you?
Mine, I gotta say, is videography. So it's like the whole process of getting ready, traveling, finding a spot, getting outfits, and the editing is what takes so long. So I don't even realize how long I'm doing editing, and it's just something I'm really passionate about.
Oh, that is excellent. And I agree. I can totally relate to that. I have to do some video work in my career as well. And it is very much a creative pursuit, isn't it? Like setting up the video, figuring out what the story is that you want to tell, and of course the editing. The editing. Yeah. Oh, that's great. That's excellent. Thanks for letting us know what gets you in your flow. And Alora, how about you? Is Alora there?
Sorry, I'm here. Just have to figure out how to use this. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hi.
Oh, perfect. I'd have to say beading, sewing, anything, creative.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm also a baker cooker, so I like doing either of those two.
Oh,
Get
wow.
lost in the kitchen for a couple hours.
That is great. So it sounds like you're really tapped into your creative self. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing. Nathan, how about you?
My activity that I lose time in, I would say it's either it's sports, so either hockey or golf.
Okay, got it. So athletic pursuits. Nice.
Yeah, that's what I enjoy doing in my free time, at least.
Oh, love it. That's fantastic. Well, when we're in that flow state, it really does. Especially in this media crazy heavy world that we're living in, right? If we can get ourselves into a flow state doing an activity that really helps us to feel like we're one with the universe, right? I don't know if you can all relate to this, but a lot of times when you're in a flow state, everything else kind of just fades into the background, and often there can be a higher voice that tells you and guides you in how to do that particular activity, because generally it's also going to be something you're just naturally good at. And so if your intuition probably kicks in a lot more when you're in that state than when you're not. So it's when you can easily do something, that is really pointing to a natural ability that you have. And even if you're doing it as a hobby, Nathan, there could be this could be a way for you to really explore a career where maybe you don't have to become a really sort of high profile athlete, but maybe you could pursue something within the sports world, right? Because if you have a natural ability for doing something, it is really important to explore it, because that is part of your natural gifts. And so we need to not push that aside and just look at it as a hobby. We need to really look at, is there something here that I could do in my career as well? So if you can do something so easily that literally you could do it in your sleep, then that's a natural gift that you've been given. And you also, there's a really neat quote by Albert Einstein that everybody is a genius. But if you judge a fish by trying to climb a tree, that fish is going to spend its whole life believing that it's stupid. So what this means is we often feel disconnected if we're not doing something that we're naturally good at, or that's one of our gifts, or we haven't explored it. And we can maybe look at other people and think when they're really excelling in their natural abilities and maybe be envious. But that's because we're judging ourselves based on somebody else's natural ability. That's why it's really important that we figure out what our natural gifts are and that we pursue that, because that's our guiding post in terms of what our purpose is in life and what we're good at. And so if we can explore that, then it's going to really help to point us in the right direction. I have another, so don't judge yourself if you're a fish trying to climb a tree. You just have to find your water if you're a fish, right? So here's another story. A friend of mine, whose name is Jeff, he has been working in a sales career for probably like 25 years. And he's made really good money. He's been very successful at it, but it wasn't his passion. It hasn't been his passion. So his passion that he's been doing as a hobby for many, many years, and what he's really, really good at and naturally good at is he's a sports fisherman. So he and my husband will go out and they'll fish whenever they have the opportunity. But just recently, listen to this, and it's too bad that, I'm so happy for him that he discovered that he can marry his passion with a career now, but it took him a long time. And so I'm hoping that you're all already going down this road at your age, because that is going to help you to live a fulfilling life so much sooner. Anyways, back to my friend Jeff. So he recently was asked if he wanted to be a guide for the charter company that he's known for a long time. And so he decided, yes, I'm going to leave my lucrative sales career and go into chartering and being a guide, which he's now been doing for the past 6 months or so, and he loves it. He just gets up and he's so excited to go to work every day, to bring other people joy and help them learn how to fish, and being out on the water, being in the environment that he loves. So I just see him and he just lights up when he talks about it. And so this is a prime example of how marrying what you're naturally good at and what you're passionate about with a career choice. But it took him a long time to do that, because he was going for the money, right? And he's still making great money right now. But he never really thought of doing his passion as a career before. So this is an example of why it's important for you to really explore what you are passionate about and what you're naturally good at. And same with me when I look at where my career has taken me. Now as a marketer, and I get to be really super creative, and I love it. And as a trainer, I get to empower other people to do what they're passionate about. This is my thing. It's where I belong. And now I get up every day and I'm excited. I'm excited to do this work, and I'm excited to be here with you all. So it's just a little sort of sidebar. Okay, now let's look at passion, shall we? I believe we do not have a poll for passion, I don't think. No, not passion. But we're gonna discuss it though amongst us. Okay, so when we can find our own gifts and appreciate, it helps us to appreciate others' gifts, and we can all celebrate in the successes that we're having together. So when we do find our natural gift, and that often will lead us to what we're passionate about. So the main difference between career and passion, or not having a career that's your passion, is that a career is going to maybe fulfill your daily needs, and you're going to be able to earn a living, pay your bills, but you might not like it. And a lot of people really despise their job. And life is too short to get up and not love what you do. So that's why this really needs to be made a priority in your life, especially now when you're at the age where you're thinking about what is it that I'm going to be doing in my career. And you're exploring this. So it's good that you're all here, because this tells me that this is an important topic for you. And passion may not help you always to, like at this point, to survive, but if you're doing it as a hobby, it does make you feel alive, and it points you to in the direction that is going to be fulfilling for you to explore. And passion can be described as a strong desire or interest in a particular activity or a cause that you love to do. And a career can also be described as a journey that we all have to pursue in our life. So why not pursue something that is potentially also your passion? When the alarm clock goes off every morning and you wake up, are you excited to pop out of bed and go to that career, or go to your studies and in pursuing a career that you love? Or is it more of a chore? Or do you hit the snooze button 10 times before you actually get out of bed? It's important. It's important to know what your passion is and what you're meant to do. So the passion is the what piece of your life. It's what makes you feel alive. And it's how to point that in the direction of your purpose. So how do you do that? Well, you have to think about what you're naturally curious about. So these are some other questions I would like you to write down and answer. And as well, we'll be sending out this PowerPoint, so you'll have them too. But when you write, it's another form of meditation. So it helps your brain to comprehend and to come up with ideas and to be creative at the same time. So it is important for you to write, and then let your imagination and your curiosity and your creative brain come up with some answers. So what are you naturally curious about? What can you watch endless documentaries on? What do you get excited learning about? What topic area are you naturally drawn to? What problem, as we addressed earlier, what problem do you want to solve in the world? What do you see that is a natural burning desire of something that you want to change? And what's your natural inclination? Do you love science? Are you a creative? Are you intuitive? Can you really read people? Do you have a lot of empathy? Are you expressive as a personality, or are you more analytical? Where do you naturally land in terms of your personality type? And I have a really cool quiz at the end of this presentation that now we're already at 43 minutes, so I likely will just give you the quiz and you can do it on your own, because it does take a little bit of time, but it's knowing your colors. And the really neat thing about doing this quiz, and I did it, and it actually was pretty dead on in terms of assessing my personality. So when you do quizzes like this, it helps you, again, to sort of narrow down what you're good at and what your natural inclination is. So I highly recommend you check that out afterwards. And I also have a really neat video that helps you to assess and analyze your strengths and your natural gifts and an area and a career that based on the different sort of career types and personality types that could be helpful to you as well. So passion is an inherent part of you and comes from a deep, deep place. It's your energy, it's your drive, it's your enthusiasm, and it's the sheer love of doing an activity and making a difference in the world. It includes your mission and what you want to do for others. It includes your way of thinking or problem solving, or using a particular process that is natural for you, whether it's scientific, creative, artistic, or intuitive. And passion, finding your purpose is like being an adult, whereas finding your passion is when you're a teenager. Being a child is when you start to develop your interests in the world. And when you're a baby, that's when you have all your natural curiosity. So instead of walking or running, you got to learn to crawl first. So learning to crawl and discovering your passion means really exploring the things that you're curious about in life. So what is it that, as I mentioned, that you are you can learn about endlessly? Is it how to explore the universe? Is it maybe looking at the stars and stargazing? Is it storytelling? Is it baking? Somebody here mentioned baking and cooking. Is it bringing joy to others that way? So your natural, whatever you're curious about, is again going to point you in the direction of your natural gifts. So does somebody want to, can somebody share with all of us something that you can watch endless documentaries on? Like, what do you really find fascinating? Nathan, how about you? Would it be sports and why people get into sports?
No, so I already kind of know what my passion is, and it's kind of directed towards like instilling pride in urban Indigenous youth through, like, you know, creating and holding spaces within the Western world. And that's because it's something that I really struggled with when I was a youth growing up in an urban community, is having that pride in who I was. And the reason I didn't have that pride was because I didn't really know about myself or my culture or my identity. So when I went back to school, I guess to answer your question earlier, I think something that I don't necessarily lose time in, but I'm very passionate about, is learning about my own history as a Blackfoot man, as well as just the history of Indigenous peoples across Canada, and like the true history of us. And so that's something that I'm very, very passionate about, and I would love to, like, I just get excited even talking about it and sharing it with others, whether that be through like, yeah, initiatives like this, or even just everyday situations.
Oh, Nathan, that is so fantastic to hear. And I can, when you talk about it, I can actually hear the passion in your voice. So it's amazing that you have really identified what it is that you love. And also, this is obviously a natural area for you to be able to share and to be able to give to others. And so kudos to you, hands up to you that you have been able to land in this space and be able to share it with others and share that gift that you have with others. That's awesome. Can somebody else share? Kathleen, you like watching TV? What programs do you like watching? What interests you? Are you there, Kathleen? Oh, Jersey Shore. I don't know that Jersey Shore is definitely good for your purpose, everybody. Lyle. Competitive ones, Kathleen. Okay. Like, are we talking about like reality shows like Survivor and things like that, or Big Brother? Okay, got it. Okay, good. So strategy. It sounds like Big Brother. I think that's all about strategy, right? And games and figuring out how to win at particular games, and also understanding people. So that's really about psychology, actually. Yeah, Lyle, Big Brother too. Okay, good. Yeah.
Also, I like watching stuff about like nature and like about like the world and all like the different like, yeah, that's the kind of stuff I like watching. So yeah.
Yes. So Lyle, what is nature like? What are you doing in your career now or your studies?
Me, I'm not really in a career right now. I'm actually looking to find my career. But right now I'm actually just like getting involved with youth and doing on the land activities and
awesome.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So that's what I've been getting into so far.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, it sounds like you're starting to explore and pursue your area of interest. Yeah, that's amazing. So as you do that, the more it's going to become clear on where your purpose is and what you're passionate about and how you can marry the two. And also remember the giving back piece, right? The being of service is that is the big piece of our purpose. Is being here is why we were put on this planet, to be able to enrich the lives of others and to be able to be of service. So it sounds like for you, especially being in nature and being able to access natural medicine and being on the land, it sounds like that is something that is so you are really connected to, which is fantastic. Laura, you're still exploring. That's good. You're kind of existing. Well, that's okay. You know, when you're young, that's kind of where you're at. You're still trying to figure out life and still trying to look and see where your natural curiosities are and learn about the world around you. So it's all good. You don't have to figure it out right now. But the beautiful thing is you are exploring, and that's what matters. And if you can start to point yourself in the direction of the things that you're most interested in and get you excited, then you're going to land where you're meant to be. So you're in a good place. You're doing great. Okay, so make sure everybody, all these questions that I've presented to you, that you answer them as much as you can after, when you're back in your day-to-day life, and that you put them somewhere where they can percolate in your mind and you see them, because that, again, when you write down your goals, if your mind sees, because our mind, we're natural problem solvers, our brains, the human brain is an amazing piece of machinery. And so if it has a goal and it has some questions to answer, your subconscious will start working away in the background if it sees that goal on a regular basis. So don't put this away. Put this presentation and these questions somewhere where you see them and answer them as best as you can. And if you don't know the answers yet, that's okay. Just leave it out, because as you go through and your subconscious is going to go, oh, hey, I remember Loa shared this with us and asked this question. And this is really key to figuring out who I am and exploring my interests and my passion. And so your brain's going to go, oh, it'll be alerted to that when something comes across your path. Okay, so remember to do that. That's important. I tell all my participants and my students that. Okay, so the next poll is oh no, this is service. We're gonna discuss service and compassion. Okay, so in a study, 92% of people who did a study say that they feel that work impacts their life greatly when they're not at work. So when they go home as well. And that's so true, right? We spend so much of our time in our careers and at work, and we take a lot of that home with us. So it's really important that we do find a place and a space where we feel empowered, supported, and that we're working with people who share our values. That's why it's really important to not just take any job for the sake of earning a living. Even if you don't know exactly what your passion is, at least know your values. Know your values and what's important to you, so that you can find a company that shares those values. Because that company is going to attract like-minded people, and that means you will be surrounded by people who are similar to you and who have similar values, and that is going to help you tremendously to feel not only valued but also to feel connected in your job. So then when you do go home, you don't feel like you're in a place that doesn't understand you, or that where you don't feel like you belong. Okay, and it's not always easy to find that right company, but again, if you set out a goal and you write that goal down and you figure out what it is that you're looking for in a workplace, then the universe is going to rally around you to help you find that. And of course, you have to do the work too. You've got to reach out and network and set your goals. And if you need to get some skills, you need to, educate yourself. Take some more workshops like this. Connect with people like Nathan and others at Cando who can help to open doors for you. These are the ways for you to really define who you are and what you want in your life. And even if you don't exactly know your passion and your purpose right now, that's okay, because you're exploring it. And but as you go through your life and you have more experiences and you make a very strong intention on designing your life, then things are going to happen for you, and you're going to attract the right type of position for you and the right type of company. So service, let's talk about this. So compassion, and having compassion for others and figuring out where you can add value and being of service is what leads you to your purpose. So if you're an artist, you serve your community by creating beautiful visual or audio works. If you're a hairstylist, you serve others by making them feel good and about who they are in their appearance. If you're a nurse or a therapist, you help people to heal, right? If you're a naturopath, Lyle, you help people to heal. So that is how you bring your service to the world. And when you're doing these things, this is when you can live your purpose. Okay, and we have one more poll on purpose. Elsie, do you mind? There we go. Excellent. She's all ready for it. Is it important to you to be of service and give back? I'm going to guess 100% of you are going to say yes, based on what I know of you so far. And do you see your job, if you're working right now, as an act of service? And it's okay if you don't. If you're just doing what you're doing to earn money, that's okay. You're going in the right direction in terms of exploring what you're meant to be doing. And you set goals, deadlines, and action steps for yourself. This is really important, everybody. In order to live meet the vision that you have for your life and design the life you want, you have to set goals and create those action steps. Okay, purpose, 100%. All right, thumbs up. I figured that's the response we would get. And do you see your job as an act of service? Okay, not bad. 75% say yeah, nice. That's great, everyone. And that's okay. The 25% that don't, that's all right. You're going to get there. I promise you will get there. Okay, and especially if you keep exploring your interests and your passion, and you figure out how to be of service, what brings you joy, in how you bring value to others. So your purpose is the reason you exist. It's your why. It's your talents and your passion and your way of serving others all rolled up in one nice little package. And it is your roadmap for how you can navigate your future. So the best way to do this is by using all of the steps that we've talked about so far. This is your purpose, is your deep reason for existence. So why you do what you do and how you can find meaning in doing it. It's the foundation on which your passion is built. And if you wanted to start a campfire with passion and purpose, you'd start with the foundation as would be the wood. That's your purpose. And then you'd start with the flame and use a match. The match would be your passion. You need both in order to find your purpose. So your mission statement. This is going to be your guidepost for how you can move forward in your life. And this is where the exploration of who you are, knowing yourself, understanding what you're passionate about, and understanding what's important to you, how you want to bring your gifts and your talents to help make the world better and to help make life better for other people, and the biggest pain that you've overcome. This is also going to be something that will lead you to your purpose and why you're doing what you're doing. For me, I mentioned earlier, I was kind of just, rudderless. When I was young, I was letting life kind of push me in all different directions without really knowing who I was or where I wanted to land. And it wasn't until I was later in life that I took responsibility for directing, what was important to me and for figuring out who I was. And that's when it helped me land in a career, running my own company and doing what I love as a marketer, as well as a trainer, and helping people to find their passions and do what they love as a career. And so it's really, and it was painful for me to go through that process because I had low self-esteem. I didn't believe in myself. I had no mentors. I had nobody to help direct me. So you have these things. And so use them. Use the resources that you have, and figure out what your gifts and your talents and your passions are. And that is going to point you in the direction of what your purpose is. And if you can figure out, what are you qualified to teach others? What are you passionate about? What have you, and because the things that interest you and that you're curious about, and no doubt you make the effort to learn about, you can teach that to others. And that again is going to point you to your purpose. And what are you most proud of achieving? Answer all these questions and figure out, who are you? What do you do? How do you serve others? And what difference are you making in the world? And this is what is going to lead you to your mission and being able to write out your mission statement in terms of who you are and what you do, how you do it, and why you love doing it. Okay, because when you are able to answer these questions and express this to others, you're going to naturally radiate and excitement and a passion, like what Nathan was telling us about, right? He naturally radiates his passion, and you can tell, and he's good at it. It's because it's natural. It comes easily for him. So this is exactly where I would love to see all of you end up. And maybe you're already there, and maybe you're just getting a few tips and tricks today from this workshop. And if so, perfect. And being a constant lifelong learner is what's going to help you to optimize your life and your career even further. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. That's okay. That's why you're here. That's why you're learning, and that's why you're growing and developing who you are. So kudos to all of you. And this is the personality test that I mentioned. So I will send out, or Elsie will send out the presentation with this link. And I recommend you guys do it. I think you'll get a kick out of it, because I was really surprised when it came back. I was like, wow. And it's not a very long test or quiz either. And it really nailed my personality. So hopefully the same happens for you. This is the 11 abilities test that will help you to really explore what you're good at and the types of fields that you could possibly go into. And let's connect, everybody. I'd love to stay in contact with you and watch you excel in your careers and watch you pursue your life's purpose and careers that you can be passionate about. And please reach out if you have any questions, or I'm always here as a guide. I love helping people, and especially youth, to really design their lives and do what they love to do and make a difference for others. So again, everybody, thank you so much for being here with us today. And if you have any questions, please ask.
Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation and workshop, Loa. I mean, I know I got a lot of value out of it. I know, as we were discussing before the session, that I get so much value out of all of the guests that we have on as a result of the Youth Connect. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing your passion with us here today. And yes, thank you so much once again, Loa.
Oh, my pleasure, Nathan. It's been really nice being here with everybody and meeting everyone. And I really loved all the sharing, and thank you for participating, everybody. And Nathan, thank you for making this environment so warm and so easy for everybody to share.
No problem. Thank you once again. And I just want to send a reminder to everyone here to fill out the evaluations to get your name entered into the draw for the $100 gift card to the Res Life. And with that, I just want to thank Loa once again and our Cando staff. If it were not for them, these initiatives like the Youth Connect would not be possible, as well as to everyone in attendance today. Your participation really helped make this session valuable, and thank you so much.
Thank you, and yes, thank you to Elsie and Danielle and all the amazing staff at Cando. You guys really put out some amazing programming that helps so many people. So thank you, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of this wonderful workshop.
Of course.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thanks everyone.
Bye.
Bye now.